What's up, young kings? Time for your more motivation. Figure I'd jump on real quick and do a video. It's been a few days since I got on and did a video, so figure it's Valentine's Day weekend. I figure I might as well jump on and get a video out before I get into the weekend activities. Got some plans, go downtown Detroit, stay down there for the weekend. Got some dinner reservations, doing a few different things, and we'll get into that a little later. But anyways, as I told you in the last video, they've been really focusing on my health and my well-being. Did my wellness assessment, and it came back that I was a little obese. So since then, this last week, I've been doing 2-a-days. Like I work out in the morning, and then I go work out in the evening as well. And I've also been focusing on getting 7 hours of sleep. So I have a timer set. It lets me know when 10:30 is there, it's time for bed. And I've been doing a pretty good job on my bed routine as well. And my body, it feels great. I mean, I used to think 10:30 was too early to go to bed. But now that this last week I've been conditioning myself to prioritize rest, my body starts to let me know, hey, it's time to lay down. So around that 9:45, 10 o'clock, my body starts getting tired. And I've been feeling more productive at work. The 2-a-day works out. I've been feeling like my evenings have been restored as well. Regular routine, I used to get home, turn on the TV, watch Sports Center and stuff of that nature. Before I blink, it'd be like it's 11 o'clock and I would have watched the game and wouldn't have done nothing. But now it feels like I have more control over my evenings. I look up and it feels like it should be 10 and it's only like 7:30. I get my workout in, come back, and I feel like it should be later, and it's like 9:15, and I'm able to unwind and just kind of relax. I did do a few different routines at home. I got jazz playing throughout the house, and it seems like it's just it's a mellow mode now, so my mind is being conditioned to slow down some, which is beneficial. So with these 2 days, I can feel my body changing. I think I'm down about 2 or 3 ounces, not pound, ounces. And I guess that's a lesson in itself. Like, this is not an overnight process. This is nothing like I'm gonna notice the change where it's gonna be like, all right, you did it for a week, and all of a sudden you're set for the fitness for the rest of your life. This is a continual investment. So it's not a diet. It's not just a workout regimen. I'm trying to alter my lifestyle that will be more conducive to me being healthier and whole. So I'll continue this, even though I don't think I'm shedding the pounds. I may be moving some pounds around. As you know, muscle weigh more than fat. So that's what I keep telling myself. That's why I'm 212 pounds, that muscle weigh more than fat. So, but I know in order for me to shed pounds, I'm going to have to shed some muscle. So I got to figure out that right balance between, like, all right, how much smaller do I want to be versus how much weaker muscles do I want to lose? Because I'm going to have to go to higher reps and lower weight to kind of tone up some muscle rather than high weight and lower reps where you can just build bulk. So people trying to do it big, I'm trying to slim down. That's that K-drama, like people out here trying to stunt and do big things. I'm going to start on the small things and slim down and be healthier and whole. So as I mentioned, it's Valentine's Day weekend, and I got to thinking on that. Obviously, it's going to be my first Valentine's Day with my new girl, and we'll get into that. But most importantly, as I was running, I ran just under 3 miles today. I was thinking for a message for the young kings that's like, be your own Valentine. Like, really, it's you that's set the tone for anything that's going to go on in your life. You are the pilot in control. Now, obviously, God is the one you submit to. So God is the Most High. So if he's the Most High, you can't be the Most High, because then he won't be Most High. And if you think it's you, then you are high. You're not the Most High, you're just high. But anyways, like, be your own Valentines. Like, appreciate yourself. Like, you are the center of gravity. If those in the military, when they go into a large operation, they talk about the center of gravity. In essence, what the center of gravity mean is, like, if you don't accomplish this, then nothing else would succeed. So the center of gravity means, like, the cog in the wheel, and that's what it stands for, cog, C-O-G, center of gravity. So if this was to fail, then everything around your mission is going to fail as well. But if you succeed at this, then everything around your mission will be a success as well, because it's that central of important to be your primary objective. So in the center of gravity, it's just this thing we've been on, this self-discovery. Like, if you don't succeed at your self-discovery, no matter where you place yourself at, that's going to fail. So this has probably been, this has been my longest series running. Normally I go 5, 6, 7 videos to a series. And I think I'm up just maybe 15 or 16 videos that I have on self-discovery. And I think it's that important, because if we don't discover ourselves, no matter where we are, we'll be lost. You will be wondering what's next, and you'll be a victim to what other people want you to be and whatnot. So you are the main event. Shout out to my Road Dog Roe, who passed, God rest his soul. But he used to call himself the main event. Like, all right, there's other side shows, there's opening acts, but the reality of it is he grasped that at a young age. Like, he's the main event. When he shows up, like, all eyes are supposed to be on him. And it's incumbent upon us to take on that mindset as well. Like, we are the main event. Like, in this Valentine's Day, the women that you spend time with, it's like an accessory. It's not the suit, it's not you. They don't make you, they're accessories. So it might be like a watch or a ring or something like that. It's accessory. It should be adding value to you, but it shouldn't be making you. So in that, it's like simple math. If they're not adding value, then they need to be subtracted out of your life. I'll say that again. It's simple math. It's like, if they're not adding value, then they need to be subtracted out of your life. And you don't need to be somewhere where you just feel grateful to be there, or you just need to perform to another level in order to attain acceptance. You're accepted. You are enough as you are. So learn that and appreciate that, and really take stock in that, value who you are. So you're the main event. You're the one that matters most. And it's not from an arrogant perspective of someone supposed to be bowed down to you, but it's your kingdom. Like, there's a lot of young ladies out there that would say they want a king. I'm waiting for my king. My king is coming. Everybody wants a king until they got to subject themselves to the king's rule in the kingdom. They don't want a king. They want someone that they can manipulate and control. And that's not the thing that you need to happen. And I'm spending time on this because I think it's important for this Valentine's Day weekend. Like, those of you who are going to go, you're probably out or going to go out sometime on a date with a young lady or something of that nature. And if you're new to this relationship, there's some things that you need to be mindful of, and some things that you can do that can trigger what may be some red flags. Simple conversation starter. Ask that young lady, like, what is her favorite TV shows or movies and stuff of that nature. And when she give you the answer of what her favorite TV show or movie is, then you got to do your research and go back and see, how do the women treat men in those shows, in those movies? Is it a movie that women are loud talking, the man and stuff of that nature? Is it something where all men are dog and this and that? And if that's what is feeding into their eye gate and their ear gate, then it's going to come out through their conduct in a relationship. So figure out what is they're watching, what's being fed into their head. Figure out their songs that they listen to. And I'm not saying they can't have no entertainment value in music, but I tell you what, Nicki Minaj, Cardi B has got a lot of the melanated sisters to a point where they think they don't need a man. But then behind closed door, these women are low-key married and going off and, saying that, like, even Beyonce. You got people in the club singing all the single ladies and how they're independent, and stuff of that nature. But she's been married to Jay-Z. She's going home to her husband and submitting herself to that. And, he's been caught cheating. I'm not advocating men cheating and stuff of that nature. But the thing is this, is like, they get into this music and they start listening to it, and all of a sudden, then that's how they try to behave. They're not able to do the deductive reasoning. So you need to be careful of what your lady is watching. And I'm not trying to say you got to censor and say, hey, you can't watch that. But at the same time, you need to be mindful. You maybe need to be selective in how much you get engaged with that. Ask what kind of books they're reading. If they're reading these love novels and stuff of that nature, then you got to realize, like, they're going to be expecting you to be that knight in shining armor, to live up to that. And you're not here to perform. You are enough as you are. And that's why it's so important with this self-discovery. You are your own Valentine. The lady you choose to be with is an accessory. She adds value. Just making sure it's the right accessory. It leads me to a story. I was thinking about the art of accessories. I mean, it can really make or break an outfit. It can really make or break how you are presenting yourself too. Like a nice watch, a nice ring, a nice necklace can really accent some of the clothes that you're wearing. And that's how your woman is supposed to be with you. But I'm originally from Illinois, Harvey, Illinois, right outside Chicago. And when we were young, quick detour, when we were young, we used to catch the train or the bus over to Illinois and get downtown Chicago. And soon as we got off the train or the bus, there'll be people in the train station or bus station trying to sell us things. You know, soon they run up into it. It's like, and I didn't really understand it then. You know, I'm like 10, 11 years old, going to visit my dad and stuff of that nature. And while we're waiting to be picked up, you know, there's these men out there. They're coming up to you just like in a movie. And they open up the trench coat and you see watches hanging down and this and that. And they got like, hey, I got a Rolex for sale, gold, got diamonds in there and all this. Like, how much? They're like, hey, $200. This is regular $2,000. You know, for us being, 10, 11, my mom would have gave us like $60, $70, to go to spend out for the summer. And we thinking we getting a deal by talking this guy down from $200 down to 25, 30, 40, 50 bucks. And we're giving him a large portion of our allowance for the summer, thinking we got a Rolex, thinking we got a diamond thing. And when he opened up the coat, I don't know if he sprayed Windex or something on those things, but those watch was glistening and they were sparkling, they were shining, and they looked bright and everything. And so it's like, man, you give them 40, 50 bucks for the watch and you get it and you think you stunning and everything of that nature. But if you sweat too hard before the week out, that gold, what used to be gold, is now silver and turning green. And don't slip up and jump in the shower and have that thing on, because when you come out, it's like everything on that watch that was shining, it didn't washed off with the soap and everything else. So it made me mindful of that. Like, when you get your accessories, you got to be careful where you're getting it from and how much you're paying for it. And because the reality of it is, some accessories is costume jewelry. So you can be thinking that you got this nice accessory, and then over time it starts to show its true colors and it's not really what it was. So it's a lesson for that. I was listening to the Breakfast Club today. It did a weekend review, but I actually heard it originally. So when you hear something twice, it really takes root. It's like, all right, Kurt Franklin came on, and he was talking about relationships, and he made a statement. He was like, breasts and booty doesn't equal your blessing. He was just saying, don't just settle for breasts and booty. There's more to your blessing than breasts and your booty and their booty. So I think they need to have brains, they need to have character, they need to have reverence from you, they need to have respect. So if you're settling just because you think you got a dime piece, or they look good dressed up and stuff of that nature, you may be settling for that guy that flashed up, opened his coat and got all these shiny stuff on there. If you're not going to the jewelry store to get it, then you may have to really do some investigative research to figure out if what you got is real. And time will tell, because time, regardless of if the Rolex or not, that Rolex is going to continue to go. A quality watch is going to continue to go. But those that are counterfeit will turn. They will turn on you as well. So just be mindful. Start asking what kind of shows they're watching. Ask how they get along with their mother. Ask about their their mother relationship with their father and stuff of that nature, because these are things you need to know as a young king, because you're inviting them into your kingdom. And if you invite them into your kingdom and they don't have the proper reverence for you, then they will start treating the king like a peasant, and let that never be so. Stay tall, young kings. I do want to get into a few things, and I'm going on 15 minutes for this Valentine edition. So I do got to go back. I'm gonna get changed up and got some reservations today and tomorrow. And this is thing like this. Make sure your kingdom is intact. Like, have something for them to be reverenced to. And this is for those who are on purpose. So if they're riding with the team, reward that. You know, I'm rolling with God, and I still believe God has a word for my life, and that I'm not meant to be alone. Like when God created Adam, and he created, he's creating all the animals and pairs and stuff of that nature. And Adam was like, hey, what's for me? And God, told him it's not good for man to be alone. So he put him asleep, and he put him asleep, and he took a rib out of his side. So I still think my rib is out there. And I think in this young lady, Keisha, she's showing that she's really down for me, and just through her attitude and how she respects me. And it's not like that I'm asking her to bow down to me, but it's like just the general reverence. It's like, at first it felt weird, but then I realized I am a king, and at the same time, I'm attracting what I'm giving. Like, I'm not doing anything different. I'm just being me. It's just being in a state where it's accepted more. So go somewhere where you can be you, and that you can be truly accepted for who you are and be rewarded. And then being yourself is a blessing in itself. So as I was mentioning before, we're probably going to get through one or two of these questions, but I did want to get a video out before Valentine's Day. And we're talking about self-discovery, and we went through for yourself, and then we went through work. Now this is kind of like the self-discovery for your family. So it says, for the family, whom do I go when I need advice? Like, who is your go-to person in your family that you go to when you need to talk to someone? And me personally, my little brother Marlon, I think we talk a lot, about different things in life. But even that, I think even more so than my family. My brother Brian, we talk here and there, but I would say I have an extended family with friends that I consider family, like Eric, Cam. Like, I get a lot of advice from them, and I give a lot of advice to them as well. So who do you go to when you need advice? So start looking at like your family, and see, like, if you needed to talk with someone, who can you go to? And then unfortunately nowadays the families are being closed off, and people don't want to share life lessons with you. So they just want to tell you everything right, and they want to tell you that they did this right, and that they want to showcase their success. But very few families are being open to share some of their failures and stuff of that nature. So be careful. Sometimes you may go to a family member, and you may not be able to sit down and have a talk where they can have that understanding. And that's one of the reasons why I do these videos too, and be transparent, because I'm trying to show you, like, this is not a walk of perfection. This is not something where we have to get it right all the time. I made mistakes, and I will continue to make mistakes, but I'm going to learn, I'm going to grow from them. So who do you go to when you need advice in your family? How am I feeling in my family life? Like, is your family a welcoming family? Is it a place where you can be restored? Is it a place where you're being encouraged? Is it a place where you're being fed and being fueled? Or is it a place of where it's a glass ceiling? People are trying to hold you back and tell you everything that you're not. You gotta assess that, because sometimes family will be the ones that hurt you the most. And it's like, very rarely, and I won't say rarely, but more times than not, the scars that are going to hurt you the most, or that's going to cut the deepest, are going to come from loved ones. The people that you let your guard down because you think they were there to protect you. You think they were safe zoning, a safe place for you to vent or for you to make a mistake. But man, I tell you, at times, like, the scars that hurt the most come from the Judas. And that's kind of like in the Bible, like, it came, the there are many people that were after Yeshua, or as you call Jesus. There were a lot of people around him that didn't like him. There were a lot of people that, wanted him out the way so they can have their own agenda going. But it was the people, one of the 12 disciples, Judas, that was to betray him. And the betrayal from that aspect, it hurts. It cuts deep when you think someone that was riding with you is now an enemy. And that's what it says. Sometimes family and friends makes the best enemies, because they have knowledge of your shortcomings and stuff of that nature. Talking with my man KO, he's locked up and doing about a 20 piece, if not more. Got a burner phone, so I hope nobody's on this watching and tapping and telling on him, so I won't give his government name, but we call him KO. And talking with him, he called me about a month ago, and he was talking about his case, and he was saying, the sad thing about it is, like, it was one of my friends that turned me in, that turned state. They ended up getting pulled over or something, and then next thing you know, of course he was out. He wasn't doing the legal business, put it that way. But it was someone that he called a friend, someone that he broke bread with, someone that he would call family with, and that he was sharing life with. They got hit up, and they gave him away as collateral. So you can tell a lot about a person of how they treat you when they're going through the adversity moment. A simple misunderstanding can really expose how someone truly feels about you. An argument or something, and the first thing they're going to start doing is attacking your character, attacking who you are as a person. Be careful of that. Be mindful of that. I'm not saying that you can't have a disagreement where there's low blows thrown, but just, put that's a red flag when they start attacking who you are. But he was saying, like, he got hit up on something totally different, the individual that told on him. But as a means to try to lighten his sentence, he came back and played a fake friend, for a number of times, just to get more information on what he was doing. And then later down the line, KO got indicted, and now he's doing a 20 piece, if not longer. So just be mindful who you let in your circle. The next question, and will probably be our last question because we're going up on 23 minutes. What makes me happiest about my family? Like, are there happy moments in your family? I know I've been notorious for throwing family functions and cookouts, and I've been doing that my whole adult life. And some of my greatest memories of my mother and my old father-in-law was, before they passed, was coming to a family dinner. And that's some of the things, even of my best friend Ro. Every time I would have a family function or stuff of that nature, he came. And that's how my kids, gained a lot of love and knowledge of him, because I brought him around. He was, if we had a family function, or a holiday party, he was there. So those were like happy moments in my life, and I'll continue to do that, to have cookouts and create those memorable moments. So if you don't have nothing like that, this is your kingdom. It's time for you to start your tradition to be that happy moment. This is your kingdom. Don't let nobody, you don't have to be subjected to the rules of someone, what they did before. If you didn't like how your family was before when you were coming up, that's not a license for you to be in a dysfunctional relationship for the rest of your life. It's your kingdom. Change it. You're empowered to change it. So with that being said, I'm about to go home. I'm gonna get dressed up, go out, take the young lady out. Like I said, we got some plans. We'll be in Detroit all weekend at various different spots, going bowling. We're gonna wear a mask, obviously, other than when eating. Like I said, got a hotel on the river. But those who are true to you, be true to them, because everything is, tomorrow's not promised. And I'll close on this. I go to this little hole in the wall bar called Lucky's, and the reason I go there is because it's an old head, and it's just grown men, and they can talk about just about anything in there. And before the pandemic kicked off, we used to go in there and we used to just chop it up. And there's this old guy named Chuck, RIP Chuck. He just passed away like 2 or 3 weeks ago from COVID. You know, he was 67 years old, had retired, had just paid off his Corvette, and, you know, was living life, and, you know, came in with the gold bracelets and was just like living life. And then it's just gone. 67 years old. And I don't think that's old. So value your life. Appreciate it while you're here. Celebrate it with those who celebrate you. Don't force yourself on anybody, and don't be tolerated. Go where you're celebrated at. So be well, young kings. It'll probably be Monday before I get back on. I don't know. I may do one over the Valentine's Day, but I'm not sure. But I am going to enjoy this weekend and enjoy my life. Be well, young kings.